Hi there, it's Trisha Brow Whisperer. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I'm just going to do a rundown of a beautiful little quick kinda summer look. We just want to look very glowy and very natural, but fresh and crisp at the same time. So my eyebrows are done. That's why they call me the Brow Whisperer. But right now I'm going to go in with priming the lids. We're using the P. Louise Rumor number 4, and you pat that in, and then I'm using my Morphe brushes, and this is a dense brush to blend the base along with the concealer that I use to carve out the bottom of my brows. We're going in with the Coral Nubian 3 Juvia's palette, and that's a nice rose color. Then I'm just patting in with a fluffy brush. I don't need a lot of color, just because a little goes a long way. So you just have to take your time and work it in. And now I'm going to go in with a lighter color and a fluffier brush so that we can make a nice blend from lighter to the rosier color. And you just blend, blend, blend. This is my transition brush. This is what makes everything blend out seamlessly. And for me, I'm obsessed with making sure everything is blended to the nines. I like to use my fingertips sometimes, so I'm taking that nice rose gold and I'm patting it in the inner corner. I like to use my finger to continue patting so that it is seamless. And then we're gonna underline just with some brown eyeshadow palette. We don't want it to be too sharp. It is just a fresh summer look. So we're just gonna go in and pat a little bit more eyeshadow. Again, we just want that blend and that gradient to be flawless. And then we're gonna go and use a soft wing with the same brow that I used on the bottom lashes, and I'm just gonna bring that up. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, we do end up blending it out to give it that softer look, going back in with the initial pink and dusting that off. My favorite eyelash mascara is from Younique. This is where my love for makeup all began. So we're starting from the beginning, and this on its own is all you need. But if you're gonna just brighten up your face, this is my go-to mascara. We follow through on the other eye, and then we're gonna go on to the skin. Again, Younique primer, there's a mattifying and there's a hydrating. Today I'm using the hydrating, and that's again to keep that summer look fresh. I'm gonna go in with a matching complexion color to my own complexion with my Paba Cosmetics concealer. This is a nice creamy finish. I'm just going to make sure that there's very little discoloration under the eye area, and I have lighter blotches above the brows. So I'm going to take my e.l.f. blending bud, and I'm just going to blend that out so that, again, there is no transition to be seen. Then we're going to go in with concealer again. This one's going to be a couple shades lighter, and this is for brightening purposes. So this is the e.l.f. Camouflage, the hydrating one. We're using the same blending bud. We're just going to pat and blend until you can't see it anymore. It's really just to highlight the inner corner and underneath the eyes, right by the nose. Now my new favorite foundation is from Younique once again, and this is the color Chenille, and this is their stick foundation. I love the way it gives a nice skin-like finish. So I'm just gonna trace that on the contours, use my dampened blending bud, and blend that out. This is where you take your time. You don't want it to look blotchy. So take your time and blend and blend and blend. I'm not sure all of the basics that I'm going to be bringing to you video by video, but please don't hesitate to comment below on what you'd like to see, if it's products or just technique and knowledge. So here I'm going to add a little bit of dimension with a little bit of contour. This is the Black Opal foundation stick. You don't need a lot, but it's placement and, for me, blending. So as you can see where I laid it down by the cheekbone area, I use my brush, and I'm just gonna blur that out. I just want to make sure that it's seamless and you don't have any harsh lines. The same on the other side, and then we're going to move up to the scalp area and the hairline. I do have a discolored scalp, so for me, again, I don't want to see where the foundation starts or ends, so just a little bit and back to the buffing out so that it is blur-tastic. I hope that there's some tips and some techniques that you may learn or be able to try on your own. And if you find there's any value in this, please don't hesitate to like and share and subscribe. So I'm taking my pressed powder. This is also a Younique foundation, and this is a couple shades darker in the color Suede, and that was just to soften out the edges. And then we're setting the foundation and especially the concealer under the eye with the Younique Touch setting powder. This is an interesting one because it has a cooling effect, so again, with the summer theme, it does come in handy. And we're just going to make sure that anywhere the concealer laid, we're going to make sure that it stays put for the rest of the day. We're just packing in lightly that translucent setting powder. It is colorless, so I just make sure that everything's set and in place. Now I'm going to use my Sephora pressed powder. This is my skin tone, and anywhere there was a transition, I just want to make sure it's blurred out to perfection. So I'm just going to pat that around the perimeter, again, where the concealer and the highlighter and the contour would have connected. I just want to make sure there is no lines to be seen. So once I'm finished patting that out, we finish with the blush and highlighter. And these are going to be my finishing touches of the face before we go on to the lips. I don't play around with the lines, so we want to make sure that there is zero transition. So whoever told you to not use blush and just contour alone is not telling you the truth, because as you can see the lift that I gave right there, just placing that blush in an upward motion and then patting it out so that, again, there is zero transition. Now I'm going in with my iconic London palette. This is a beautiful highlighter palette, and I'm using a nice fluffy brush, and I'm going in above the cheekbone area, right to the lower temple, the tip of the nose, the bridge of the nose, everywhere where the sunshine or the lighting is going to hit me naturally. I just want to make sure that it pops and has emphasis. So right there on the chin, in the middle of the forehead, which I put a little bit too much, but it's easy to fix. We just take that pressed powder that was remaining on that big fluffy brush I finished off with, and we're going to pat it in and dust it off. I like to use my fingertips once again, just to make sure that no matter what angle I turn, you're not going to see where I applied anything. It's just going to be harmonious. So I pat it out with my fingertips again, no lines. So the perfectionist in me comes back in with whatever suede foundation is left on that brush, and I'm just going to make sure that the contour around the nose and the contour between the cheekbone and the blush is just blurred right out. And then we're going to go in with the finishing highlighting touches. So before I go under the brow bone, I like to get the Cupid's bow before I start lining my lips. So the perfect brow has to be emphasized with the perfect brow bone, so you have to highlight under there too. That's one of the major finishing touches. We're also going to highlight the inner corner of the eye, so this brightens up the entire eye area. Even if I use no eyeshadow, I'm just going to take a smaller fluffy brush. I'm going to place it on the inner corner, and then because it's a fluffy brush, I'm going to blend that out so it transitions seamlessly with what I had placed on my lids. and right down to the lower lash line. Now we're going on to use a Morphe lip liner pencil. This one, I'm not sure the color, but we're just gonna follow the natural lip line, and it's a neutral color so that we don't have any harsh lines. We're not gonna be doing any ombre, so again, that summer glow to me means lip gloss, and this is my all-time favorite Younique Luxe lip gloss. This one just got relaunched, so I'm pretty happy. I don't like to blend and smudge it in, so I pat it out, finish it off with my luminous setting spray, fan that out, and voila. Thank you so much for watching. Again, come back, like, and subscribe. Mwah.